Okay, great. So this is our video for knowing how now to start sending your DMs. A few things on Trello, you'll see all the prompts that you can create through whatever AI service tool that you are going to be using. In this, we are going to be using two AI tools. The first one is to open up the software through Microsoft Edge so that it can analyze the profile on LinkedIn, create a LinkedIn message, and then I will refine that through ChatGPT. I'll explain to you why I use ChatGPT in a little bit. So let's get set up. First off, as I said, sometimes multiple screens is going to be your best friend, especially in this step. So open up the first tab with your LinkedIn homepage, right? I'm going to look at my network. So open up my network. Again, your connections are here. These right here are invitations. These are soliciting you. I don't really pay attention to them. I kind of just let them be because they're trying to sell me or they're already with WFG and I don't want to be with other WFG agents. Not that I don't like them, but the thing, or I like them, right? None of that has to do anything with it. It's simply that I do not want to mix our connections together. So, that's why I ignore that. Okay. I can then go to see my network connection. So the reason I click on connections here is because these are all the people that have connected with you from so you send them a request and then they decided to accept the request and it'll tell you the date that they accepted. I would advise you to start to the very first connection that you've had and start to send them a thank you for connecting DM, right? So your message would say something very simple like thank you for connecting with me on LinkedIn or accepting my request, right? Notice that you have a background and such. And then compliment them a little bit and then say, curious, are you, I know, have you, are you open to doing something in addition to your current career path? Or you strictly focus on doing what you're doing? The prompt for that is on Trello. You can go ahead and copy it and add it to your AI, right? So if you're opening this kind of setup with Microsoft Edge, you're going to go through the chat feature, or if you're doing it through Google, you're going to go through Gemini, right? Or whatever AI you're using. So I would advise you to use it with one that's integrated already into the way that you're navigating those websites. Okay, in this case, I'm using Microsoft Edge. So I'm going to click where it says chat, and it's going to bring up all my chats that I've had. So I do have it in a few categories. So I search on my conversations, and I'm able to see literally all my prompts and chats that I've created already to send out these messages. Okay, so if you're brand new, you're starting off with the very first person. If you already have established yourself and started sending DMs, keep track of where you started or where you left off last DM. So under the template that you'll start seeing on Trello, which mine is this, I would have here, right? How many DMs have I sent previously? And then where did I leave off here, right? So yesterday I left off with Shanae, I think that's how you pronounce her name, right? I left off with her, right? So that's where I left off. And the date with her was in May 6 or 7, but I'll double check right here. So if I look here, if I start here, I would have to scroll down. That's the reason why I already have a tab of where I left off, right? So this is her. This is my last DM to her. And my connection with her was on May 7. So I want to kind of keep that track on my end. So in case I get lost or I lose that tab, I am not trying to filter through everything to figure out who was my last DM to. Okay, so we're here, right? So this was my first, this is now where I'm going to be working. I do not send a message from here at all, but I do see if I send them a message. So let's say you lost your space, right? You click on message. I sent her a message, like, okay, great. I sent her a message, but did I send Sasha a message? Let's click on Sasha. Not her profile, just the message, the little word message. Notice I did not send her a message. All right, perfect, no problem. So I know that Sasha is my next person, right? So just kind of organize yourself, scroll down slightly, and you know you're going to begin with Sasha, moving up. So that is my tab. I'm going to click on the first tab where I was doing all my navigation, go back to my home page. And you see where it says here, I'm looking for, I'm going to enter Sasha's name there. The reason why I'm going to enter her name there is because I want to be able to see her profile, right? So I'm not going to search for her on the first one. I'm going to search for her on the second one. So Sasha, right? So let's put, there she goes. I click on her. Her profile comes up. And you notice that I have already my chat open. So I have my chat open. I'm gonna go to my first one where it says first DM, right? Appreciate your connection, right? So that's where I'm gonna be working out of. The AI that I have integrate that is already integrated onto this way of navigating the web already recognizes that I'm on her LinkedIn. So see how her name is right here on the bottom? It's right there. So I've already added my prompt. It already knows what I want to do in this chat. So I'm going to put literally the word next because that's already embedded in the prompt. I press enter. It's thinking. It now starts to create a customized message based on my previous prompt about her. Now, I wouldn't suggest that you just literally copy this and paste it because if you receive a message like this, you'll feel like it's AI generated or is way too much. So that's where I refilter with ChatGPT. Why? Because ChatGPT actually knows the way that I talk, knows my language, and knows that I want to keep it very simple, direct, but professional in a warm tone. So I copy it. I go to my ChatGPT. Hmm. That prompt is the same one that is already on Tranial. So you can create a folder for that. You then paste it, and it already knows that it wants to refine this message without no AI wording or signatures or anything that would make it look like it was AI. So see how this is such a much simpler message, right? It says, "Hey Sasha, I appreciate you connecting. I was looking over your background and leadership path you have built in property management. It really stood out. Going from leasing uh, receptionist into a regional operation leadership says a lot about you and your discipline, ability to lead people well, right? I also notice how much you value culture, development, right, etc. Curious, are you open to expanding your income in addition, right, to your current leadership path if the opportunity aligned? Or are you mainly focused on her current path? So copy it. Now, if you choose copy response, it is going to copy send this, right? You don't want that. Just literally take that extra step, copy it from here, highlight what you want, copy, right? Go back to her profile, not to here, go back to her profile, open up the little message and paste it. Send. Okay, that is it. You literally rinse and repeat the step over and over and over and over again. I like to keep little tally marks on a sheet of paper so that way I can at the end know how many I've sent. But if you forget or you lose count, I'll show you in a little bit how you can then go back to be able to see how many you have sent. So let's see how fast I can do a few of them, and then we're going to see that part of it. So again, connections, right? So this is Josué. I go to my other tab. I press Josué. There he goes. I click on him. Then I press go back to my side chat, press next. I went ahead and created it. So it was a little slower in creating it. Okay. Not going to send this whole message, just copy that. Then go ahead and paste it. Let it analyze. Here it goes. Copy. Go back to that his profile, send a message, and then paste it, and then send. There you go. Again, right? Close it out and go to the next one. So then we got Brad. So now we go, Brad. Now you could be able to pay for the service. Actually, the reason I didn't pull up Brad is because I just clicked on Brad and didn't highlight who I want. So Brad Siegel I want. So Brad Siegel, there you go. Okay. And I press next. So yeah, you can pay for this service if you want. But if you don't want to go ahead and pay for the service, you don't have to. It doesn't take that long. You can send about maybe a DM every minute and a half, 2 minutes at most, right? If you're um don't yeah, if you have your setup already, and maybe if you're not that quick, right? But a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes is what you're going to take in sending out that message because you have already thing organized. Okay. All right, great. So last message for today. So again, you want to send out how many messages a day? A minimum of, again, 30 to 40, right? But for this exercise here, we want to go over just a few examples of how you can do this quickly on your end. So this is him. Share copy. Then go to my chat GPT. Oh, see, I copied everything. That's why I said he said. So I deleted that. I didn't want everything. I just simply wanted the message that it said. Copy, paste, refine, copy that, and send it off. Taking a while for this one. All right. After this message that we sent out to him, we are going to show you where do you go to see how many messages you actually have sent out, in case you might have forgot um how many messages you sent out. So, all right. I like to leave my tabs exactly the same, so I'm not gonna touch this one. This one, leave it the way it is. Just, maybe perhaps scroll down just so you know where you're at, right? So make note, I stopped with blue, right? That's where I stopped, and her connection was with me on May 7th. So I stopped right there. And let's imagine I did my 20 to 40 DMs. Took me about 30 minutes to an hour 15 at most. Okay, I am going to go here, right? And I want to know how many connections I had. So let's go back to my main page. And let's go to how many messages I sent, right? So let's go to my little icon where it says here on the very top, it's like a little chat, little cloud. Click there. These are the messages that I sent out. So I can tell that I sent out right now 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That'd be that. So I can do that. So on the next video, I'm going to show you how then to start to respond back to these DMs and how to have that navigation and save them as well. All right, thank you.